Conceptual art was established in the 1960s to create art that is free of artwork. In a broader trend of artistic self-exploration, the point had been reached where the material object itself had become questionable in its function. The soberest and most practical of all media, photography, was perfectly suited for this purpose.
You are watching Visual Independence.
During a meeting with legendary French photo dealer and expert Serge Plantureux in October 2011, held in his atelier premises at the Galerie Vivienne in Paris, Jan Bock-Schroeder was presented with a proposal. Plantureux, who had learned about a project by visual artists Cindy Sherman and Richard Prince, in which Prince and Sherman portrayed each other, encouraged Bock-Schroeder to re-photograph his father's works. Provided the pictures turned out to be good, he would display them at his exhibition stand during the forthcoming Paris Photo Fair at the Grand Palais in Paris. Equipped with his father's Leica, and a selection of vintage prints from the 1950s, Jan Bock-Schroeder set out on a tour of Paris. Searching for locations that would allow him to re-photograph the images in a setting reflecting the composition, subject matter, and atmosphere of the original, he discovered a scrap television set on a walkway. He attached the black and white print of St. Basil's Cathedral, which his father had photographed in 1956, onto the television screen. To take the picture from a perfect angle, he had to kneel down on the street. The process of recapturing his father's image proved to be an extraordinary experience, giving an impression of time travel and creating a profound sense of connection with his late father. At the same time, he had to be concise to avoid being run over by the passing cars. The transformed works were presented to a wide audience for the first time at the 2011 edition of the Paris Photo Fair at the Grand Palais in the French capital. Other images, like that of an indigenous Alaskan girl sitting beneath a Cold War poster informing civilians how to spot enemy Russian bombers in the sky, are set in the painting of a 19th-century battlefield littered with corpses. Another image from the Cold War era shows a mother with her 3 children posing for a snapshot in front of a Moscow landmark, mounted on an otherwise bare wall under the word reproduction. A total of 33 images were created during the first round, which are grouped collectively under the brand name Bock-Schroeder by Bock-Schroeder. The requirements for photography and for recreation are the same: to get the best out of the scene. Jan Bock-Schroeder performs interpretations of his father's original photographs while transforming them. He deliberately picks up stylistic elements and transcribes them to form his own pictorial system in a restructured visual process. The use of documented material serves not only to supplement and complete the legacy, but also to condense and update the storyline. It transforms what has been separated by a generation into a manifestation of the present, as no artistic narrative could otherwise achieve. The underlying intent of the Bock-Schroeder by Bock-Schroeder project is to draw attention to the work of Peter Bock-Schroeder and, secondly, to allow fine art photography connoisseurs to respond to the evaluation of the works in a modern context.